So moving on.
Moving on. This is, I'm telling you about our guest. Our guest is Simon Phillips. You may know him well from the Amazon hit TV show, Age of the Walking Dead. See, I'm trying to remember everything. And he's just celebrated the premiere of his latest project, and it's called Stealing Chaplin. So take a little look at this trailer.
These two are con men. They're not very good con men.
We've been busy earning money to pay you back.
Then you've got the full amount.
Not exactly, no.
How short are you?
It's about 5'2".
You boys don't get this money pronto, then I guarantee you'll both be digging a grave before the week is out.
Charlie Chaplin is buried right here in Vegas. We could dig him up and sell his body. Sell it to who? Highest bidder. He was worth a fortune.
You might be onto something here.
Keep digging, otherwise the next grave we're digging is our own.
The family has offered a substantial reward for the return of his body.
This Chaplin thing is all over the news, and the mayor wants whoever's responsible caught.
The official reward is $100,000.
The missing dead comedian is in that apartment.
Why are you such an idiot? I feel like I'm babysitting a special needs giraffe or something.
You're a cop. He's a scumbag criminal. You figure out a way to set him up, we get him put away.
Those are our Chaplin boys, which means we know exactly where they are.
Every cop, trooper, and FBI agent in the state are looking for you too.
Show some respect. He's an icon.
Respect? We just dug him up.
I saw the trailer and I thought, that's my kind of film. That's the kind of film I like. Now, I need to make a quick correction, by the way. The show on Amazon is Age of the Living Dead, so we don't get anyone in trouble. But this movie, Stealing Chaplin, is two con men, one body, and $100,000 at stake. So welcome, Simon Phillips, to the show. He's having some Skittles.
Yes, a mouthful of Skittles, I'm so sorry. But these are delicious. I haven't had Skittles in ages.
I know. I just had to chew it, which was a really bad idea because that's all I'm doing now is
it
chewing
stuck?
it. Yeah, roof of the mouth now.
Yeah.
Just so I can talk. So carry on.
I picked the worst sticky ones. So glad that you're here. It was thanks to Cheryl, who's in your movie.
That's
Friend
right.
of mine, strangely enough, is like, you need these guys on the show. So I'm really glad that you came. But you've just premiered a few days ago.
That's right.
Stealing Chaplin. Tell me, how on earth did you come up with a storyline like that?
Oh, it's a true story. This is what's crazy about this whole thing. I keep telling them, but anybody that asks about it, I was like, two guys did dig up Charlie Chaplin's body and tried to ransom it to the family. And now it was in the 70s and it was in Switzerland, but we sort of updated the story to Vegas and today. But they really did do it, and they had the body in their house for 2 months.
No!
Sorry, the coffin. They took the whole thing.
Yeah.
And they had it for 2 months, and eventually they got caught. I don't know how they got caught, but they eventually got caught. Oh, they got caught making phone calls. They kept going to public phone box, a phone box to make a call, and eventually they kind of worked out where they were, sort of based on how many calls they were making.
That's amazing. But I think it fits well for Vegas, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I think everybody I love a Vegas film. First of all, we usually know someone that's in the films.
That's true.
And we love all the locations and stuff. But
Vegas is that place, isn't it?
It
people are going to take a chance. There's the idea that you can gamble and you can win it all and lose it all.
you can do anything here, pretty much,
It's possible.
And no one bats an eyelid.
No, that's the bad thing about Vegas. You could be like somebody who's telling me, I won't say who this was. He goes, I saw a guy gunned down in the street, and he goes, I immediately popped my head out, and I was looking for where the camera crew was, and he goes, then I realised there is no camera crew.
Oh.
This guy had actually been shot, and I was like, oh my god, that sounds horrific. And he was like, yeah. I mean, he was alive. He wasn't dead. He got shot in the. I was like, right, okay.
But
It still sounds horrific to have seen that.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah. I was like, what did you do? And he goes, well, I finished my lunch, and And I was like, oh, this is in view of a restaurant. And I was like, and you just the day just carried on.
It didn't put him off his lunch, did
No,
it?
he poured himself another gin and tonic, and the day just got darker.
Of course it did. Of course it did. Now you don't live in La La Land yourself. You have a bit of a bolt hole here, and also
Well, the company is here, so the people that we work for are here.
Right.
So I'm here a lot in Vegas. So that's why we're always trying to look for movies that can be filmed in Vegas. But
Right.
Vegas has got so much going for it. That's easy.
Of course it does.
Yeah, but really, I live in Canada.
Which part of Canada?
Does that cut my interview time down by half?
Well, thanks for joining us today, and
Thank you for
the rest of the show.
Let's have some
Play the
more
trailer
sweet.
again at least.
Yeah. So, which part of Canada are
I'm
you?
in Ottawa,
Oh,
which
right.
is just outside of Toronto.
Very good.
But
Very
how
good.
did you end up there?
Because there's a lot of American stuff that gets filmed in Canada because it's cheap,
There is.
I guess.
All the tax cuts, isn't
all
it?
the tax breaks for it. So there was an American show, and then they eventually said Ottawa, and I had to go. And where is that? And they were like, oh, it's still in Canada. I knew we were going to Canada, but I thought we were originally going to Toronto
Or Vancouver or
something like that. And they
that.
were Ottawa, and I was like, where is Ottawa? I had to look that up.
You're like, okay, I better get me parka, me anorak.
And then,
It'll be
I've
chilly.
just stayed there ever since. But I worked lots down here because that's where the company's from. The company's in Vegas. So
Right.
Nevada company.
So,
Okay, very
do you
good.
find it easier to film in Vegas, like as opposed to like LA?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegas is kind of like... So here's the great thing about Vegas. You're close enough to LA to pull anything you need to. So if you need people, or something like that. But Vegas has its own big community. You just have to get into it a bit, like Cheryl and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I find people, and they know everybody, which is great. Because
It's
it's
that
sort
kind of town.
But also they're kind of helpful. Like I find in Los Angeles, they're not helpful. They kind of they're competitive with you, sort of.
Right.
Whereas in Vegas, they kind of want you to go. You know where you need to go. They'll suggest a better location, a better
Right.
thing, and you're like, oh, thanks very much. That's great.
LA.
Well, I'm glad you've had that experience,
Yeah.
because I love a Vegas film, and I see you've got.
What are you
I'm
doing?
stretching
What are you
it-
doing with
I'm
it?
stretching it and warming it up.
So
You are.
I've got to stretch
Just
it and warm it up.
tilt your mic down a bit. You're missing again.
Hang on.
I see. I'm
I
constantly.
was promised you guys were professional.
I
That's
know.
what I was
every week.
told.
Every week, you'd think she'd actually be able to talk into it by now, wouldn't you?
She can't talk for the next 10 minutes. Now.
That's it.
That's it. You've gone. You've bitten off more than you can chew there, and you know
Right.
you have.
So this is all the times I can say things about Sam. No. Yes. All right, dear. You stay in the corner. Look at that.
Travis, are you able to
You're
put some
right.
sort of subtitles underneath all that?
Actually, Facebook does put subtitles on this.
Oh, it's hilarious.
Oh, it does. Oh,
which
right.
is usually interesting
He
just
doesn't
to read.
understand the thing we're saying. Not a single thing.
If you're watching in replay right now, it will be round about here. And it's going to say something really weird because whatever I'm saying right now, it's not going to say, I guarantee you, what
I'm telling you,
saying
it's funny.
right
Have
here.
a good laugh and read it.
Yeah.
But you've got Mr. Vegas in your film.
We do. Mr.
Wayne Newton.
Wayne Newton.
What a legend.
Wow.
What an absolute legend. This is going to sound really rude, but I didn't actually know who he was for the because
I don't think you would, though, outside of...
don't you feel it's fair? Because I was talking, my director is British as well, the writers, and I was like Wayne Newton, and they were like, oh, and I was like, do you know who he is? And they were like vaguely, like, it's on the tip of my, and I was like, but then everybody that we were with here, they were like, Wayne Newton, and they were sort of more amazed. But I was like, he didn't, for whatever reason, didn't travel to England that well. So I was like, so when I'm growing up, I'm thinking, I was like, honestly, I'm not sure. But then having seen him,
Dankeschön. I won't sing anymore in case we get shut down.
Think Tom Jones if Tom Jones only ever lived in Blackpool.
right?
Yeah. That's perfect.
All right.
Well, it's not
With
unusual.
slightly less hip thrusting.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, he'd put a hip out now, but I mean...
I've just said really bad things about Wayne Newton, and he was really nice, and he let us do so much. And okay, I'll tell you this story. I can't slag off Las Vegas,
right?
But I will.
Go on.
No, go ahead. By all means.
We can take it.
So we were trying to film this. The story is about digging up Charlie Chaplin's body. So when we hear the producers trying to get a cemetery, and they're like, we just need to dig the body up out of a thing. So what we'll do is we'll buy a plot, and the cemetery was like, okay. And then we'll give you the plot. We'll film what we need, and then you'll give you the plot back, and you can donate it to somebody who needs it. And the cemetery were like, "What a great idea!" So you're just borrowing it. I was like, "We'll have it for a couple of weeks, and then it's yours." Loved it. I don't know if it's Clark County or Film Las Vegas or whoever it is said, "Okay, you can't exhume a body." Sort of. I was like, we're not actually obviously exhuming a body. We're the coffin will be empty, and people the cemetery that we wanted to film in was in view of the street, and we're like, I mean, yes, but we'll have all these like lights and cameras, and people will probably know that it's make believe, sort of. And I was
it's just Vegas.
and this was in this sort of like, you get these people with these sort of logic loops, and they're like, you can't exhume a body, it's like without a court order.
They couldn't get beyond.
Yeah, there's no body.
I was like, but there's no body. I was like, I hear what you're saying. I was like, if I was making a gangster movie and I shot some guy, I can't murder someone either, can I? Really?
Just for the film.
But for a movie, I could do it, and you would believe there was sort of that suspension of disbelief that it was actually happening. That's because it's on the TV, and like, so I don't know how to say it. And you're like, okay, calm down. I was like, this is the person from the film office, so they know you're talking about the prerequisite of all of this is that I'm talking about a movie.
Yeah,
and then and anyway, couldn't do it. Which
is really weird because I happen to know that that office here is always very encouraging of any production that happens here in town.
And I know someone who owns the mortuaries, the cemeteries in town.
So what was weird, they actually helped us out on a load of other things, but this we couldn't get past this. Nice. Wayne Newton's on set and we're filming something, and he kind of overhears and he goes, "You having problems?" Sort of. And I was like, "We are." Me and I'm trying to figure these things out. The producer's trying to figure stuff out. We don't really know what to do because it doesn't now matter what cemetery we pick. We're not going to get the permit. The permission. It doesn't matter where we go. So he's like, "Do you want to film it in my backyard?" And I was like, "Your back what?" And then he's like, "My backyard." And I was like, "That's very generous." But I was like,
and you're thinking a little,
right,
little backyard.
I'm like, it says we got a cemetery. We're looking for a big space. And he's like, it's like, he's like, give it a look and see if it's like. The producer's like, giving like daggers at me. I was like, "Hey man, Wayne Newton invites you to the house to take a look at his backyard. Go and look at it. Go and look at that.
Yeah."
And I was like, "All right, I'm going." I go to the backyard. The Wayne Newton lives in like downtown Las Vegas somewhere. I don't want to say exactly where it is. It's 2 city blocks.
Is he still there though?
No,
it's not. Sold it, hasn't he?
It's not.
It's not Shenandoah, and I can't remember the new. I don't think the new place has a name, but it is as big as the old place.
Oh, so it's his new place.
He has 35 stallion horses inside his property. Inside, and you're like in his garden, and there's like pheasants roaming around. We have to get around on a golf cart.
Oh, that's interesting because I knew that's basically kind of what he had at Shenandoah, which was his big, massive estate. But I didn't know he'd taken a sidestep.
Yeah, he sold it. Yeah.
Well, I know he sold it, but I thought he'd gone to like a little sort of terrace house.
It was. Let me say, I embarrassed myself further on this. As when I first went to his house, I was like, his house is gold. It's beautiful, but gold. Everything. I was like, my God, Liberace'd love this. And he was like, he did, And I was like, and in my mind, I'm like, of course you knew Liberace. Why did I miss that? I was being, sarcastic. But
you got a great Vegas experience then.
I did, and he let us film it. So the cemetery scenes that you see in the trailer of us digging up there are in Wayne Newton's backyard. And he didn't charge us for it or anything. I was like, well, we're low budget. Look, we can give you something. He was almost offended at the idea.
Really?
No, he goes, no. He goes, I'm helping you out. It's yours. It's for free. Don't worry about it. Forget it. He was like, look, I felt bad then offering him money, and he was the nicest guy. He absolutely didn't have to do any of it. Any of it at all.
Great. That's so lovely. And his wife, you said, was in it, yeah?
The news reporter who reports the body stolen is Wayne Newton's wife, and the waitress in it is his daughter. I've got the whole Newton family
in there.
Is in this movie.
Whoa! You see, this is why we love Vegas.
And that's what we're talking about. Like everybody trying to help, like Cheryl and stuff like this. Yeah. Everyone was so helpful. I was like, oh man, this is a brilliant experience compared to.
So if you ever need to exhume a body,
I don't know who you call is the answer, but Wayne Newton. Do you know how difficult it was, like getting people to come? I was like, hey, we're digging up this body at, we need to dig a graveyard at Wayne Newton's house, and this guy's like, I didn't even know he was sick.
No!
And I'm like, no, not. Yeah. I was like, no, he's not. Don't need that spread out there.
Well, he's got a plot ready for himself now.
He has. It's already made.
Already made the decision.
I have one already prepared. Blue pizza.
Could spend years doing that. Here, there.
That's fantastic.
Got one. That's why
you want a love heart?
Yes, I would like a love heart.
Tell me what it says on yours.
I shall.
Do you want a love heart?
I do now.
Let's see what the prediction is. What's the prediction?
Wait, let me have
this
mine.
This is the precursor to the Magic 8 Ball, isn't it?
It is really.
Awesome.
No, it didn't.
That's all it says.
Awesome. I didn't say that.
They don't fit on there.
These are obviously not British because they would never say awesome.
And
no, they wouldn't.
And they're not British because mine says how sweet.
Yeah,
but doesn't that sound like somebody who went how sweet?
How sweet. Yeah. Sarcastic.
What do you get?
Winner, chicken dinner.
Oh, this is very. I'm going to eat it, but still.
Yeah,
it's good though.
So maybe that's why we ended up all wearing black today.
Yes.
It was kind of this whole the the theme of the movie.
Don't pretend you two don't call each other early in the morning. Hey, what are you wearing today?
As long as it's early in the morning and not late at night, then we're all right.
I have never believed more
It
that it
could be
happens.
very inappropriate.
And then they go, "Oh, it's Jim. Sorry, Jim. How you doing?" By the way, Jim, what do you? Never mind.
So, where can people see the film? Do you
Right.
prefer the word film or movie? I mean, movie sounds
Movie sounds
like
American.
razzmatazz.
And do you watch it in the cinema
You
Or
do
the
watch it in the
pictures.
cinema.
or the pictures?
Oh yes, well, we're the pictures, aren't we?
We are.
Actually, I'm old enough that I'm from family that called it the flicks.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, Dad. My dad, who hated it. No, I won't go into that. I've got a very supportive English mother and a very kind of sarcastic Irish sort of father. So whenever I take my mum to the premieres or things like this, my mum is like, she even though she hates the movie because she's, why can't you make something nice? Why are you
Oh my
always,
God, she sounds like my mom.
Sort of, and I'm like
Like a
well,
hallmark.
Yeah.
No swearing, no sex
She
scenes,
was like,
no
"You
one
were
gets killed.
You were so mean to that girl, And I was like, Mum, the words are written down, and they tell you what to say and when to stop.
Aw.
Anyway, but when she goes to the movie, she's actually very supportive. She's because she knows it's just childbirth making a movie. And my dad once came, and he just inherently doesn't really like it, doesn't really buy into it, and all of that. But he was there, so I was like, Dad, what do you think? And he goes, Yeah, I've paid to see worse. And my mum was like, Did you hear that? And I was like, Yeah, I know. Yeah. And
That's
she
a
goes,
compliment.
he liked it. And I was like, I didn't hear that. No. I was like, What? I guess he's paid to see worse. Like, I was like, Yeah, that's almost 60% compliment. Yeah, you're right.
That means you've been outside of the UK for too long. Because that sounds like a compliment to me from a British perspective. That's pretty decent.
It does actually.
And that's all come from my love heart of like, oh, how sweet.
Exactly.
How
Actually,
sweet.
I remembered I like love hearts. I'm going to have another one. They're quite.
What else have we got here that wants to stick in your teeth?
We've got everything here is going to stick in your teeth. Did you
Yeah.
guys eat all the Cadbury's or something before I got here?
That's in another box.
Oh.
I haven't even got
Where's
a
that
word
box?
on this one. I've got hieroglyphics. Oh no,
You just can't read.
it's no, it's like a yeah, I know, but it's a winking eye.
It's a
and
winking, kissing
yeah, it's an emoji.
Oh, these are
Oh,
American.
stop trying to.
Emoji.
You know what? Don't mess up the originals. Ooh, you see, I can't do a show without clunking into that mic stand.
You can't. You
It's
can't.
my tradition. Do you want some-
So now,
I love a second one. We'll let you.
So where can they see your film?
in
your
the
flick?
cinemas. In the cinemas.
cinemas.
So if you're in Las Vegas, go to Cinemark Cinemas. I can't remember the names of exactly where they are, but any Cinemark cinema in Las Vegas. There's one in the Suncoast Casino because that's where the
Okay.
premiere was.
right, okay, very good.
Premiere was.
Yeah.
So now,
Sorry.
what has been your
Right, take those away from me.
I know.
Right.
They're Moorish.
Sorry.
your thoughts, feedback? The whole lockdown thing. Obviously, it's made a massive impact on
When
production.
did you film this?
Okay, we filmed this in November last year, so like a year to the day. The COVID. Most people have these depressing sort of stuff. It has been really good for us. I'll tell you why. Because lots of the big movies are getting delayed till 2021, right?
Yeah.
So they made room. In the reason we've got a theatre release for the movie, we've got in 50 screens across all of America, is because all the big movies keep moving their dates.
And it's empty.
And they're empty, and the cinemas, whilst they're still open, they're like, we need movies. So they're like, send us your movies. But you're competing now not with the Avengers or James Bond
Yeah.
or whatever big release is coming up. You're now competing with other indie films. So they were like, Chaplin, yeah, we'll take that. Yeah.
What a nice silver lining that's come out of Corona. It's like opened up that door.
It did. It's made it. It's for some. If you happen to be in that exact position, it was very good.
Excellent.
So
How long did you film for?
I think it took about a month, maybe just shy of a month, 3 weeks probably. We spread it out a little bit, and the rest of the time we just spent in the casinos in Vegas,
Well,
which was a terrible plan.
Well, it's a dreadful plan.
Well, you'd have been the only ones, obviously. Last November.
No, November.
Oh, it was busy then.
Normal back then.
Yes, normal.
Remember the time before?
Yes. No.
No, I don't either. No.
It's fading away.
We haven't left this room since March.
We've just been eating sweets the whole time. I love these.
So these are your survival boxes,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah. I don't want tins of beans unless they're Heinz. I want boxes of
There used to
sweets
be a
to
window,
survive.
but she boarded it up just in case it got in. So we're really digressing a lot.
I know, it's all right.
It's been one of those days, and it's only this early. So what's next? I mean, you always got to think, well, that was great, but you're already on to your next thing, right?
We're already on to the next thing, yeah. So, well, this is. I always feel disingenuous, sort of sitting down talking about these things because they go, "What's next?" And actually, we've done the next thing already.
Oh wow!
Because it gets sort of stacked up, and then it's sort of a year in edit and stuff like that. So we've done the next thing already, which is Age of the Living Dead season 2. So we have this Age of the Living Dead,
not the
Walking Dead, because we did not rip off that show.
No, clearly not.
Thanks for getting me in trouble there.
But they can watch that on Amazon, yeah?
They can watch season 1 on Amazon, but season 2 is coming. That's our next release after this one. So that's TV show though. So
so exciting.
So are Amazon and Netflix and these kind of places, are they sort of a bit more open to looking at independent projects more than, say, some of the other studios or networks or anything else?
So not many people are making TV. There seems to be a lot of TV out there, but more people make movies than TV. But now you're getting a lot of really cool TV shows. So Amazon and Netflix and Hulu and all these guys, and they're all screaming out for content. Every week they need something
content.
New.
Now, do they? Is there any problem with being on say Netflix and Amazon? Do they have a whole you can't be on there if you're on here? You know.
So we don't do that. We're with Amazon.
You sell your soul to one of them
because they're very good to us.
Good. Very good.
We don't watch Netflix because we're not allowed to.
Net who?
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't matter. No, they're very good. But we do have and I've got something. Can I talk about something festive? Is it too early to talk about something festive?
No, Ali was already. She was already just describing what we're wearing.
My Christmas tree's been up a year still. I haven't taken it down.
We have a movie coming out on December 6th on. But this is not coming out in cinemas. So this is just sort of DVD and streaming. Called The Nights Before Christmas, and it's a movie about Santa Claus killing people.
I'm down for it.
This is one of the ones, that my mother went, why can't you be nice?
Murderous Santa?
Yeah, why can't you be nice?
Yeah, a murderous Santa and a sort of Harley Quinn Mrs. Claus on a sort of rampage for, I don't want to give away the plot, but there wasn't a long plot. That was,
that was it.
Santa kills people.
Santa kills people. You're either on board for that or you're not.
Yeah.
I love an alternative Christmas film. I do.
Yeah. What do you want for Christmas? A knife. Yes.
Needless to say, it will not be airing on Hallmark.
I know it won't, but we always know how Hallmark movies go now. They always end. Always.
They're made to like a tick box formula. You're like, obviously that's the real love interest, but she won't see it just yet.
Yes.
She'll see it a bit later on.
Because she's still angry and she's working a lot her job, so she doesn't have time for Christmas.
She doesn't have time for love.
No, she doesn't. Can't do a job and fall in love with anyone at the same time.
But Grandpa doesn't have a lot of time left. He's going to impart a little bit of wisdom
at a
crucial point in the story.
She has an epiphany.
And then she's realised that she does have time for love.
She does, after she relocated to the mountains and fell in love with a vet.
That's right.
Yeah.
Who healed her dog.
Healed her dog.
And actually, she didn't like the vet to begin with.
That's right. She hated him, actually.
Because he was like, you're not taking care of this dog?
Yeah.
And she was
all offended.
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah.
Yeah. I
have no idea what you guys are talking about.
That is every
No, I don't.
Hallmark film.
Not at all. I don't know.
I know you get your hot cocoa and a little blankie and watch it.
Can I wiggle my shoulders like that?
With your shoulders in your onesie.
Yeah. No, you seem to have watched a lot of Hallmark movies.
Every single Hallmark film.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I love
even
them.
Travis was nodding over there. He knew. He did, right?
I love them.
I forgot I had a microphone. Yeah. Yes, definitely.
He's like, nod.
See, now Travis he's went to film school. So,
So I'm looking for a job.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
he's going to get poached.
He makes a killer cup of tea.
He's going to get poached from us.
Listen, ditch these two. Come on, we'll go.
All right, cool. See ya.
It literally, I'll have to go.
He's gone.
Yeah. I'll have to go and press my own buttons. Oh, you pressed my buttons.
I like the one Hallmark film where these kids' parents die in a car crash. It's very jolly. And the sister steps in, wants to adopt them, but she can't adopt them because they live in different counties. But they're supposed to remain in the family home only. So you know what they do? They move the house to a different county.
The actual house.
They literally move the house.
How did that even on paper, even as a one-sheet
become a thing? And someone said,
they were
yeah,
like,
that's
so,
great.
gonna pay for this?
And they went, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If you were sat at that table, you'd be like flipping it over. I was like, am I missing pages?
Yeah.
And they're like, no.
Yeah, there's a big gap here.
Green light, that one.
You're like, how much would you like?
Yeah. It does make you wonder though. Sometimes these projects that do get sort of made, and you think how. Well, actually, sometimes you can see that on the napkin, it sounded like a good idea.
Yeah,
but that's where it stops.
That's where, yeah. But you
and
can't watch
else.
the napkin for 90 minutes, can you?
No.
Do you know what it is though? It's people go. They say it's predictable, and you're like, well, everybody that sat down to watch that movie knows it's going to be predictable, and it's like James Bond.
Yeah, it's like.
I have
James Bond.
James
you
Bond
can't be just dissing James Bond.
Well, you can't be, but like a reviewer in London once called the latest James Bond, one of the Pierce Brosnan ones. He said it was, predictable, and he goes, right. A lot of things you could critique James Bond for. Being predictable isn't one of them. It's like obviously it's predictable. He's going to have girls and cars and gadgets, and some maniac's going to be trying to take over the world. And
martinis.
I was like, it being predictable is what the person who buys the ticket wants. So,
it's true.
yeah.
But I have to say, the other week, when Mr. Connery passed away, I was thinking, I'll do like a little montage thing that we can run.
Mm-hmm.
And when I started looking at the montage stuff's out there, there's not a lot these days that you could really put in a montage. You go, oh yeah, you can't do that now. You can't say that now. So we went a different angle. But yeah, it does. It sort of definitely was predictable. But fortunately, Daniel Craig changed the script on that a little bit. A little bit.
I
don't know. He's still like he's still got the car. He's still all right. There's a little less in the gadgets thing. And he doesn't have the one-liners, but he's still hooking up with the hot girl, and he's defeating the guy that wants to take over the world for some reason.
Yeah.
He's doing it with a lot of emotion,
It's
which
true.
I feel they're going like, what we'll have an Oscar winner kind of actor playing that role instead of the sort of cheesy one-liners. But essentially, the formula it's completely different, and they're like, but actually, it's all the same.
Yeah.
We've done nothing. It's like we've just put him in. He's not who they wanted.
Yeah. I actually agree with you.
He was
Thinking
not
about it, I
he was
kind of
not
like
my favourite. Sean Connery was my favourite.
Oh, he was.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got a favourite Bond?
Well, up until Daniel Craig, it was Sean Connery, because that's really was the only one other that was a choice. But I actually prefer Daniel Craig.
Do you really?
I think
Pierce Brosnan was my one because
was he really?
But I'll tell you why, right? Because he's my James Bond in terms of number one, I'm English Irish, so Pierce Brosnan was Irish.
Right.
But number two, he's my James Bond, as in he was my generation. I grew up on Pierce Brosnan.
I
James.
see.
So the new movies for me when I was young
Yeah.
were Pierce Brosnan movies. I missed Roger Moore, I missed Timothy Dalton a bit, but Pierce Brosnan was right at the time when I was like a young boy and wanted to be James Bond.
Right.
So
That makes sense.
I
guess
it
mine was-
resonated longer for me. But
Yeah.
when I wasn't a big James Bond fan, as in I didn't go and see all the movies until way later, and then obviously I look back and think, oh, it is Sean Connery, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sort of he has a sort
Who's
of
the one that nobody can remember?
George Lazenby.
No,
Yeah, that's-
not George. Like, I remember George Lazenby, and of course that was like kind of like the Beatles drummer that never was quite really one of the Beatles.
Right,
He really
right.
wasn't. He really wasn't. No, I'm talking about
Timothy Dalton, Roger Moore, Sean Connery.
Timothy Dalton.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So people said that Timothy Dalton was a bit ahead of his time because they think that Daniel Craig is what they would do because he was a bit rougher around the edges and he was a killer. And you're like, that's what they sort of did with Daniel Craig. But they were like, yeah, people didn't want that at that point.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, then they were putting him into that old formula. How do we get onto this whole?
I don't even know.
But anyway,
Rabbit
it's
hole.
interesting. But anyway, yeah, those weren't the best ones for me. And I grew up on Roger Moore, so that was the Roger Moore. So,
yes, I mean, I mean, he was his own thing, wasn't he? Sort of. It's almost unfair to. I don't like people having to pick favourites because you're like, well, Roger Moore was a favourite for a lot of people in a very different way. He wasn't taking it seriously at all, and you're like,
no, not at all. He really just had a laugh with it.
Yeah.
We need Daniel Emmett here.
What are we doing? We agreed we weren't going to. Have you eaten that whole pack?
How many of those have you eaten?
I'm addicted to them. They're fantastic.
I'll have one. Now you've done that.
Well,
Did they? Put
they
them on
are
the-
good.
Put them on the tip of your
I
tongue.
already did.
On the tip of your tongue.
If there's any left, I will.
Listen, I inherited a fairly compromised. Oh, I've got an emoji as well. That's terrible.
Make sure you put it on the tip of your tongue. It's a different sensation.
Look, well, then what we all sound like when we're
This is really great for a show that relies on voices.
completely on audio. Yeah, well done. Now look at
You got it?
Oh, this one says hug me.
Oh, this is definitely American.
Look me, I'm scared.
All right, so that's that.
So you've already got your next project.
I've got the next two actually. So that was the TV show and the Christmas movie.
Right.
And I'm now in James Bond.
Yeah, apparently so.
I don't know why I said that lie. It's obviously very easy to disprove.
You've worked with some big names, haven't you? Go on, drop a few.
No, I hate
Go
people
on.
that do that.
Do it.
I've done.
Danny Dwyer. Danny
Dyer.
Dyer.
Yeah.
I love him.
He's he's in the East End. Then
Yeah.
he's sort of stopped.
Mick.
That's right, Mick.
Mick is his character.
But he was in just about every British gangster movie. You're still on the Love
Your
Aren't
face
you?
is hilarious. Look at Ian's face.
I don't know.
You're like a naughty child. Sorry about that.
So Danny Dyer, a lot of British people, like, sort of Alan Ford, Billy Murray.
And then you also work with Mark Hamill.
Mark Hamill, yeah. Luke Skywalker. That was like a boy. That was another, an 80s child. That was like do you want to do a movie with Luke Skywalker? I was like, what? Pardon my fuck? Oh, shit. Sorry.
Beep.
Beep. And I was like, yes, I'm there. And they go, right, the story's about, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, does it, if they're asking you to work with him?
And then I've done Jean-Claude Van Damme, that was terrible.
Not many people can say they've done Jean-Claude Van Damme.
I'm going to do one in case somebody looks it up, which is always a bit depressing. One time in my career, this guy was pitching me this great movie about vampires and werewolves, and he goes, they're helping these exotic dancers out there, and it's action, it's sexy and stuff like that. And I was like, okay. And then at the end of it, I was like, sorry. And I was like, what's it called? And he was like, it's called Strippers versus Werewolves. And I was like, okay. And he was like, it's 20 grand, Simon. And I was like, I'll see you Monday. Yeah. And I knew it'd follow me around. And Freddie, you mentioned him earlier. Freddie Krueger was in it. Robert England.
Oh wow!
So what was it called?
That one was called Strippers vs. Werewolves. I should not talk about this.
But
movie.
I'm on my phone right now.
The very best did that. Sir Michael Caine. He had a very simple principle: is that he goes, I did movies when I needed some money. I wanted a new swimming pool. I did a movie to get money. It doesn't really matter what it was.
It doesn't.
No.
There's no shame in making money and paying your bills.
Right.
No, and that's the thing. There's a lot of filmmakers out there. Travis, you'll be able to attest to this if you've been to film school.
Yep.
That spend a great deal of time, talking about the art of stuff and stuff like that, and they probably achieve their art movie, their sort of passion project. But if they don't sell it, they will never make another movie.
It's like if you can make a giant pile of steaming horse manure, but then if it sells, you're actually the gratification's way more than anything else.
Yeah. So you have to do these things where you go, when I wanted to be an actor, I don't know if I ever wanted to be a psychopathic Santa Claus, and they go, but when they keep sending that, and that's the sequel. We've done another one of that, and and they go, when I first got that, my mom, having freshly nagged me about it, was like, hey, why can't you do something nice? And when the phone rings, you want to play Santa Claus? I was like, yes, I do.
Oh.
And I was like, you kidding me? And I was like, what's the story? Santa Claus? And I was like for real? And he was like, yeah. Oh, what's the story? He goes, okay, so Santa Claus has gone crazy and is killing people. And I was like, there it is.
My mom's gonna love it.
Yeah. I was like, damn. So close.
Oh, so close yet so far
It started
away.
well.
Yeah. I was like, we were almost there, Simon.
I'm so going to watch this. Here we go. I found it. Strippers versus Werewolves.
No, we're not promoting that one. We're promoting Stealing Chaplin is in cinemas.
Still in Chaplin.
So make sure you all look up Strippers versus Werewolves first. Just to get some context.
Right.
You need to get some depth and breadth on your acting career.
So that they watch it and they go,
And
that is Simon
appreciate.
Phillips, and I will never watch it again.
Exactly. And then when they watch with others, they go, oh, Simon Phillips, yes, he was in Strippers vs. Werewolves. And then they'll seem informed, and, it's much more highbrow.
I hear what you guys are saying.
convinced.
You need another $20 each.
That's right. That's
So in
what these are
theatres
about.
now, Stealing Chaplin.
Yeah.
So it's in theatres here. Is it going to be in theatres in England? Where
It's
else?
already been in England. So
Has
it was there a month ago, which is a great piece of luck for us because theatres are now closed in London.
I know they are.
Oh, so
So
you literally
We got
there.
in, and then the week later they were closed, and we're like, we had the last run in theatre,
Wow.
and it wasn't. Let's be honest, it wasn't a very impressive run because not many people are going to the cinemas. But you're
Right.
in.
Yeah.
We were like kind of the top of what we were doing because we were like, well, there was nothing in the theatres. We were, and other than that, they were rerunning stuff, sort of.
Right.
How does it work? If you want to kind of like submit it to, do you just submit your movies to film festivals as well? Is there validation in that? Do you do it before it's released, or does it go out and then you
I'll
go
be
to
totally honest with you. For Stealing Chaplin, we go to film festivals because we think it's film festival worthy. You're like, right,
Right.
this is kind of a comedy indie drama. Like this is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Maybe this will win awards. When we're doing The Nights Before Christmas, which is like about a psychopathic Santa, we don't, because we're like, that is ticking a very, like horror movies. Horror movies, generally speaking, they don't. The audience is there, and the audience is very loyal. They don't need the film festival. They're not impressed by the little laurel leaves around.
Right.
Yeah.
But Stealing Chaplin has been and has won a few.
Oh, great!
So but then when you go to the theaters, they look at it and they go, "Oh, right, this one," and you're able to say it won this, and this, which really just gets the head buyers to watch the movie.
I see.
And then they still decide whether they like it or not. Sort of it doesn't matter how many awards it wins. They're like, let's have a look at it and we'll see it first. And see. But I think what they liked is the name Chaplin. To be honest, they're like, I like that Chaplin. I was like, I can see that. Yeah, we'll take that.
We'll take it.
It's
that
about
simple.
the name and the moment.
Yeah.
I'll go see that.
I'm just watching it, Strippers and Werewolves right now.
Why are you watching? I feel like you should have watched. I should have showed you. I should have showed you my festive trailer. I can't do that now, can I? No.
Too late. Can't even airdrop it, can we?
No.
Everything's in the barrel.
Everything's done. It's done. Never mind. Stop watching strippers. Are you literally?
It looks cool. It's
So
quite fun,
this-
actually.
You got to get to know Sam a little bit to know that she's a talent that can multitask and do many things.
But get
just not
fixated.
at the same time.
But she gets fixated. You're like, yeah, I'm watching strippers. I was like, no, don't watch it. And I was like, I'm watching it now.
I got nothing else to do.
Yeah. I was like, I'm saying don't watch it. I was like, I'm watching it.
I'm watching that. I'll interview him while eating Love Hearts.
Where are the love hearts?
They're over here.
Oh.
He's coveting them.
Is that, was that how we're doing this?
I tell you something though, watching the trailer, because Cheryl shared it a little while ago, and I thought that is my kind. Never getting them back. That is my kind.
Shouldn't have gone through Sam.
That's
I'll
right.
never get that now.
That is my kind of film. That is my kind of film. Our kind of humour, isn't it?
So the lead, it's me and Doug Phillips, who isn't my brother, amazingly, and the banter is very British. So if you like British, that sort of you're gonna like this because it's a British director and the script is written by Doug, so it's a sharp script and it's just me and Doug doing it. So if you're into that sort of quick banter, but you have to. I find some Americans struggle to follow it.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Has it got that sort of Shaun of the Dead?
Yeah.
For sure.
Right.
Yeah.
Shaun of the Alive. Shaun of the Living.
Yeah.
How do we get her out of it?
After a while, he'll not remember the name
David
of
again.
his own films.
See that? It's not the same movie.
So Sam won't be joining us now on her own show forevermore.
Yeah. And you were so enthuenticitic about coming
I
on
know. I
this
loved
show.
it. Yeah, when I heard it, I was like, and actually, just before I came on this show, did I tell you I had a message from? I was just standing off, and I had a message from my director going, "You're not going to believe this. There's a show called Spill the Tea in Las Vegas. That's for British people." He's like, "You need to get on that." And I was like, "I'm stood here waiting for my cue to go on." I literally made him a little video. I'm stood here right now.
That just happened.
Yes.
And the guy had no idea, and I was like, yeah. And he goes, oh, how'd you get that? And I was just texting him just before I got on. I was like, oh, Cheryl, she put it up together. But he goes, that's incredible. And I think that show was just made for you dropping in. And I was like, yeah.
I appreciate that. That's actually really cool because you redeemed yourself from the previous comment you made before the show, which is when you walked in and went, how does this show even happen?
I didn't say that. Let me qualify some things here. I didn't say that. Ish. I was wondering if there was a large enough British audience. But then, you know what? I was thinking maybe you don't have to be British to appreciate this. I bet you have some
Anglophiles.
US. Right, yeah.
From all over the world. They watch us every Tuesday
They do.
night.
They do.
Yeah.
All four
Every
of them.
Tuesday.
Yeah, good.
They're right here. I can name them off to you.
Well, surely you just call her mum, don't you?
Yeah. Well, that's one of them. Okay, three.
That's
Three.
right.
Three.
That's
We have a whole
exactly
globe
right.
of people who watch the show right behind
We
me.
got a globe.
Yeah,
We got a globe.
We've got things to prove it. We don't
Yeah.
have to justify it. We don't actually have to prove it. They're on the globe.
Of course not. Nobody could fake that.
Exactly.
Nobody could put a bunch of dots on the globe.
It's official.
That is as good as science right there.
Yeah. So that's how we make it happen.
Because Travis have obviously offended a few people here.
Oh, no.
So if you could just play the exit music for me and I'll just gently slide out of you.
Get the hook.
And
drag
you
him
can.
out.
Yeah, I can.
Oh my god.
Well, thank you so much, Simon, for coming. You don't actually have to go under
you
the table
don't. You can
right
stay
now.
there.
I'm leaving. Thank you.
Yeah.
Stay. You know, I did like, though, in the trailer when he says, show some respect. It's like, we've just dug up his body. I love it.
Well, you
That's
still
so
be
my
respectful whilst doing that.
Yeah, sure you can.
You know what? I think it's been a fun show.
I think it has.
And I'm going to be like, for the rest of the day.
Well, of course you are, because you've eaten a whole load of love hearts, so you're sugared up.
Are you going to? One more question, sorry, before we go.
Go on.
Are you going to be in one of our movies then? Because I saw Travis had played a bit of your reel.
Yeah, and
I didn't
known roles.
I didn't realise I was sat with you know
James Bond.
Can I be an elf?
Thor.
In your Christmas movie? I want to be an elf.
We've discussed this, Sam. I've already filmed the Christmas movie. It's in the. Do you know that's my most? That's what. One quick story. That's my most annoying thing when people see you filming. You know, they're passing by and stuff like you dressed as Santa Claus, and they go, "What are you filming?" And they're like, like a horror movie. What's it called? And I'm like, The Nights Before Christmas. And they're like, oh, I've not heard of it. And you're like, well, no, of course you haven't heard of it because we're making it now. And then later we put it onto the DVDs because otherwise we'd be just selling blank DVDs if we did it the other way around. You moron.
But you can be in the follow-up, which is called Strippers versus Yorkshire Terriers. It's more hallmarky.
You can both be the terrier.
Strippers versus what? Somebody write that down. That's quite good. Yeah. I was like, I know a guy that'll take that.
Cheryl will love that because you know the big dog people.
Are you calling
That's how I know Cheryl.
Are you calling Cheryl a Yorkshire Terrier?
Oh, she's a cute Yorkshire Terrier.
Nah, you've said it now. Don't try and climb back off that one.
More like a Yorkshire Terror. I'm just saying. Oh, I don't know what happened today.
We haven't achieved anything, have we? Sorry, did we hear everything we were supposed to say?
I can't stop eating this.
You wait. You wait till we actually go live and we get on the air. We'll have another conversation.
Right, there's 2 love hearts left. How do you want to do this?
If I'd had $1 for every time that's been said to me.
Do you want the top or the bottom one?
If I'd had $1 for every time.
Do you want one of these love hearts or not?
Yes.
The top, there's a yellow. They're both. All right, I'm going to take the top one.
Oh,
well,
right.
you
fine.
dilly-dallied. Oh.
What's his
You've got your fingers on it now. You can't.
It's in the plastic.
No, it's in the plastic.
No, on that one. You thought you were looking to change it out.
I was, because this one was just an emoji one. And you've got a repeat.
What does he say?
Hug me.
They're just running out of ideas. These
They
guys.
are.
Listen, love hearts.
I need more hugs. Is really what it comes down
I'm
to.
not even reading them. I'm just putting them in
People
like
are
this.
just looking at you. You know, what did they say? Hold on. I'll regurgitate some here.
Travis, would you like it?
No.
I'm sorry, Travis.
Right. I never get the food you guys
There's
eat.
only the Laffy Taffy. We can't play the song, but you know the dance, don't you?
You like the Laffy
Check that
Taffy?
Laffy Taffy
You got that Laffy Taffy?
Do the Laffy-
That's an appropriate song.
Guys, I really need you to go and take a walk outside a bit more often. I'm worried that in here, this room is
In our
doing
bunker.
something to you.
I think all the oxygen has been sucked out.
Yes.
Seriously, some wellness checks are happening.
This
Well,
has
thank
been
you.
great. I've really enjoyed it.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you.
for coming along. And just to qualify, so it's Cinemark, movie theatres.
Cinemark movie theaters all across Las Vegas. So
And then outside and in different parts of the country.
they are. Follow us on, find us on Facebook, and there's got details of where.
And what's the Facebook page? I mean, how do they?
If you
random
just
movie?
search "Stealing Chaplin," the title, I believe it finds it.
Okay.
But thank you for highlighting the fact that I don't know it.
No, that's what searches are for.
That's what searches for. "Stealing Chaplin." Find that on a page.
Well, I
Exactly.
think it's wonderful.
Thank you very much for having me on.
I'm going to go and watch that and Strippers versus Werewolves.
Yeah.
That wasn't the message. That
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
the message.
And then when will Santa come out?
Cut to commercial, Travis.
We don't have commercials.
When will Santa come?
Actually, we do. We
Oh,
did
wait.
it.
Don't, not yet.
Was he in it? He was
I
getting
was trying to.
trying to end the
He
show.
was
off.
trying to-
We're at an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh,
my
Lord.
God.
It's been it.
Sorry, people. Didn't realise it was.
Well, I think
had
I'm
gone on
about
that
to make it
that
even
long.
longer.
Oh God! Have you still got something left?
I've always got something.
Oh.
I've always got something for this.
Travis, the music, quick.
No. This really made me laugh, this video. I mean, really made me laugh.
Okay.
I think you'll enjoy it.
Oh my god.
That's a good.
That
is
was.
good.
It's a good one. It was a good one to end on.
All right, that was a good one to end on.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much, Simon.
You've got to stop talking.
Yeah.
Shut up. I want to go home.
And as always, thank you to Travis for being who he is. Thanks for Sam for
It was on sugar.
who's all sugared up.
high.
And we'll see all you guys next week on Spill the Tea.
See you next
then.
week.
Take care.
Bye.